Welcome to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower, brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/your20-minute podcast. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, here's your host, David Brower.
Thanks, Alan. This is David Brower with your 20-minute podcast. Our special guest today from Gresham, Oregon, is Linda Binns. And Linda is an introverted, intuitive, highly sensitive person who became a small business owner, author, international speaker, radio and television guest, consultant, and coach. And her goal is to guide you to thrive in your own personal and professional life. I mean, that's what we're all looking for, right, Linda? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. That is what we're all looking for, I believe.
No question about it. And in reading through your stuff, I was fascinated by everything that you're doing, and was really excited about having you on the show because it goes against what a lot of people think. And correct me if I'm wrong, but hey, I'm having troubles with my personal life. I'm having troubles with my professional life. I need to hire somebody that can show me how to do it. And it was successful for them, so it's got to be successful for me.
That's right. We want somebody to tell us the answer. And, I understand that. I have, especially in business, I always thought everybody else knew a lot more than I did. And I was always looking for someone to tell me, this is the way you do it. If you do it this way, it will work for you because it works for everybody else. And
right.
That's not true.
Yeah, there's always, everybody's looking for the magic formula, the silver bullet, and
yes.
And you're teaching them ways to learn how to do it themselves, basically, with your help?
Well, the thing is, we already know, we have the magic answer for ourselves. Each of us has it within us. The trick is, and people used to say this to me, you have all the answers within you, and I used to think, yes, okay, I understand that, but please can someone show me how to get them out? If they're in there, I'm not seeing them.
Absolutely.
So, yes, if somebody tells you, I have this blueprint, and if you follow this blueprint, you will have the success that you want, or you'll receive the same success as me, I would run the other way because, I know that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
But really what you want is someone to show you how to access them within yourself, how to access those answers inside you, because only you know what is right for you, and only I know what is right for me.
And when you learn that, and it's obviously, at least my perception is, it's not an overnight process, but when you learn that, all of a sudden I would think you learn, feel, sense more control over your life than probably you ever had before.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It is complete freedom, I would say, because once and there's a difference between knowing it and really feeling and experiencing it. Because I knew it for a long time. I've been studying for years. I guess you could say I'm addicted to personal growth. I want to
Sure.
learn as much as I can. And so I had an understanding of these concepts, but it became very frustrating because I wasn't experiencing it. I wasn't feeling it. And I noticed that a lot of my clients are in that same situation. They are very aware. They know a lot of stuff. They could probably teach most of the things I'm teaching, Yeah. But they're having trouble accessing it and really implementing for themselves so they can fully experience it. But when you do reach that point, it's like, I always say you have a breakthrough. Your breakthroughs come on the inside before they ever come on the outside. And when you start to experience that, you realize the freedom that you have. And like you said, it's a feeling that you really are more in control because you don't have to rely on anybody else. You really understand and feel that you do have everything you need within you, and that is so liberating.
Oh man, I can't even imagine, to be honest with you. The one of the things I've always remembered, and I used to train salespeople many, many years ago, and one of the things I always said to them was, never ask somebody how they think, ask them how they feel.
Yes.
Because you want that emotional response. You don't want that analytical response. And that lets you get inside that person more about what they're really feeling. And that's what you're doing basically, right? Is helping them access what's already there, understand how to use it to their benefit.
Yes, exactly. And really that's the only way you can connect with people, truly connect with people. I mean, I think, as you said, you're in sales. I think we've all experienced a salesman, who comes up to you and just starts talking at you,
yeah,
and telling you how great their product is or their service is, and they don't know anything about you yet. They don't know if you have a need for this or anything, and so that there's no connection there. You've got to get to know the person before you can ever know if what you have and what you offer is the right fit for this person.
One of the things that as I introduced you was basically describing you as introverted, empathetic, intuitive, highly sensitive, those kinds of things, which is, man, what a gift that is. And so when you work with people to try to understand and develop and help them be as good as they can be, do they have to have those qualities?
No, absolutely not. But I think everybody does have those qualities. It's a case of how connected you are to it or not. And, there are different levels, obviously. I
Right.
have learned that, I have a certain level of sensitivities. And what I mean by that is that I'm very sensitive to environment. I'm very sensitive to energy. I'm very sensitive to people's moods. I pick up on and feel things that many people don't. And I used to think I was alone in that, but apparently about 20% of the population fall into that kind of sensitive category. And, the word sensitive, even the word introvert, those are all terms that have been perceived as very negative in the past.
Right.
And what I've learned is that there's actually great strengths in people who are introverted and or sensitive.
And I am both.
Yes.
I was raised as an introvert, totally. Was always very sensitive, only child, blah, blah, blah. And as I got older and I had a career in radio, I learned how to be an extrovert when I needed to be.
Yes.
But deep down, day in, day out, I'm an introvert, and my wife gets it. She understands it, and I've always felt blessed by that. To be honest with you, I've always felt unique in some situations, but I've always felt like that's who I am. So I need to celebrate that. Thank you. That's a mirror. That's a badge I wear proudly. So thank you for that mirror.
Good.
So if someone reaches out to you, obviously you don't know anything about them yet. How do you? I don't know that you can say all this in general terms, but are there some aspects of introducing yourself to somebody and getting them comfortable with your approach, and how does that all work from the beginning, I guess?
It's interesting because, part of the intuitive process is that there is no set formula. It really is what the person needs. So when I'm speaking to someone for the first time, probably, usually I want to get them talking. I want to hear about what's going on for them and why they feel there's a struggle with it. Where are you now, and what is it that you want, and what's the struggle? So I just usually will ask questions, and I don't have set questions. It's just whatever comes to me. So I'll just ask them questions that gently kind of probe and guide them, and I just listen until I kind of home in on where we need to go. I just lead it in a direction of where I feel we need to go until I'm looking for the core.
There you go.
The root cause of whatever's going on. And so I'll just guide the conversation until we get there. And then once we get there, then we can look at, okay, so this is the real issue. And, that's the thing. What people think is the problem is never the problem.
Never the problem.
Never the problem. So it's really about how do we get to that first? What is it really? And then once we know that, then I can look at, well, how can I possibly help this person, and what is it that they most need? Whether that's from me or from somebody else, I don't know that yet until I really access that core problem for them.
Absolutely. And I think as we talked early on, it's so easy for many of us to go, all right, I want somebody to help me fix me. They know how to do it. They've been successful. I'm cutting them the check. And that's kind of a turnkey thing that we all look for once in a while, I guess. And with the issue of quickly knee-jerk response of this is my issue, and it never is.
It isn't. If I could share a quick example that might highlight this and
Please.
Explain it better for people. So I was contacted by a lady who was frustrated with herself because she'd been running a business for about a year or so and was doing okay, but it wasn't where she wanted it to be. It wasn't growing. And she said her problem was that she was procrastinating. It was that she knew the things, the techniques and strategies she needed to be doing, and she wasn't doing them. So she was in avoidance. And so what she came to me for, she was hoping I could help her with her motivation, maybe some time management strategies, that kind of thing. So, I just started asking her a few questions just to understand what was going on for her. And within about 5 minutes, it became very clear to me that wasn't the problem at all. The problem was that she has several children and many, many grandchildren, and these are her life. She loves spending time with her grandchildren. And she got into the business she was in. It's a network marketing business. She got into that business because she wanted to have the income flowing into her so that she could spend more time with her grandchildren. But the way she was trying to grow her business was doing the exact opposite. With all the things she had been told that she needed to do, it was going to take more time away from her grandchildren. So no wonder she was in resistance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? She had a subconscious resistance to that. And so once we knew that, then, that was the real problem. So then we could talk about, okay, well, let's talk about how can you design your business so that it gives you the money and the time that you're looking for to be able to spend more time with your grandchildren. So it was a whole different scenario. It wasn't anything to do with time management or anything like that. It was going back to basics and saying, okay, this is what I want for my life. How can I design my business to give me that?
And I think that's the key phrase right there, right? Is how can I design my business to get me that? Because they have to take control and take charge of that with your guidance, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and that's the big surprise to people. They think, I start a business or I go into a career, and when I make a certain amount of money or when I achieve a certain level of success, then I will be able to step back and enjoy my life.
Good luck on that.
Right. And good luck on that. Doesn't happen.
or how what's Dr. Phil say? How's that working for you?
How's that working for you? Yeah, exactly. So that's really what we've been told, but it's actually the opposite way round. If you start with, okay, what do I want my life to look like? Now, how can I design my business, my career, to give me that life that I want? Not at some future date, in 10 years down the road, but now. How can I be living the life that I want now? And if you start from that place, then you really do have the ability to design and create the life that you want. And that comes as a big surprise to people.
I would think so, especially when you get, I don't know if it's still this way, but back in the day when you would interview people, you would say, well, where do you expect to be in 5 years, or where do you expect to be in 10 years, or whatever like that, right? So it puts that burden on you as you're trying to grow your business. Well, I can do this in 5 years. Well, why? Why why limit yourself like that?
Right. It is limiting yourself. It is. Because you really can. I saw a great quote the other day, and I wish I could remember it. It was something about us creating our lives, or creating ourselves. That's it. We don't find ourselves, we create ourselves.
Like that.
Yeah, I love that. And that's so true.
Right.
We're all looking for something, right? We're looking for whatever it is we should be doing. What's my passion? What's my purpose? And all of this. Well, what do you want it to be?
Well, and we're listening to other people put their things on us, right? I mean, I'm talking to my hypothetically, I'm talking to my best friend, and he's going, well, why aren't you doing this? And I'm, well, why should I do it? Well, man, I've seen this work in your business. I know it's a home run. I mean, why aren't you doing that? And that has nothing to do with me creating myself.
Exactly. What I always say to people, I ask them to define success. What does it mean for you? Mm-hmm. And that doesn't have to make sense to anybody else.
Right.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter if nobody else understands what you're doing or why you're doing things the way you're doing it. Does it feel right to you? If it feels right to you, then that's what you need to be doing.
And that's a hard hurdle for people to accept, isn't it?
It really is, yes.
Yeah, because a lot of us, back in the day, I was like the ultimate people pleaser, so I was doing everything for everybody except myself. And then once I figured that out, I'm going, oh, that's an interesting way to look at life. And we are our own worst enemy, I think, in this search.
Yes, we are. And it's interesting that people usually know that, because when I ask people, what do you think is standing in your way? They usually always say to me, well, it's me.
Right.
I know it's me. But they don't know how to change that.
Right. Yeah, they see the door in front of them with the lock, but they can't find the key. That's
a good way of putting it, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Fascinating. How long have you been doing this, Linda?
Well, in one form or another, 20 years. I started out, funnily enough, as a feng shui consultant and holistic health practitioner. So it was energy of the body, energy of the environment.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very interesting to me because I got most of my consultations or sessions with people would say to me, oh, this isn't what I expected. This is more like therapy, because they'd be looking for the quick fix.
Right.
I heard about feng shui, and if I move my bed or I hang a wind chime here, that's going to fix my life.
No.
Well, no, your home is simply a reflection of you energetically. It's connected to you. So if we make changes in your home, it's corresponding to your energy, and it's going to have an impact on you. So you can't just make the changes and not make any changes internally within you, So
yeah.
It was always going much deeper than that. And I couldn't handle people looking for the quick fix, because I could never go there.
So you're also a work in progress, it sounds like.
Always.
Right?
I think we all are.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think the day we stop is the day we die.
Could not agree more. Absolutely right. And we're rapidly running out of time, so I want to have you tell people how they can get a hold of you, what the process might be to get a sense of if they're a good match for how you like to work.
Well, probably the best way is to go to my website. It's lindabins.com. That's LINDABINNS, lindabins.com. And there's, quite a bit of information on there. There are some, you can access some videos with some free tips on there. You can also contact me through the website. So I think that's the best place to go. You can also reach out to me on social media too.
Nice. Yeah, I was just looking at your website, and it is filled with all kinds of free information that you could spend some time with and go, okay, I am now sufficiently curious to drop her an email. How fascinating. Well, it's wonderful work, and this has been a real treat for me to visit with you and learn about the things that you do and how you help people. So congratulations to what you do, and continued success.
Thank you, David. It's been my pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. Linda Binns, LINDABINNS.com. Change your energy for greater success, and she can show you how to help you create yourself.
Your 20-minute podcast with David Brower has been brought to you by Audible. You can listen to any of David's podcasts anywhere podcasts can be found, including iHeartRadio, the Spotify mobile app, and at davidbrowervo.com/your20-minute podcast. Until next time, thanks for listening.